What's up guys, it's Aleks Dayum. So today I'm going to go through 5 mistakes that I made when I first started lifting, and this video is going to be perfect for anyone that pretty much just started lifting or is looking to get into lifting, but I think it'll also be beneficial for people that have been lifting for a while and still have experience. You may know quite a few things that I mentioned in this video, but I think it'll still be helpful. But yeah, if I was to go back in time and watch this video when I first started, I think that would help me a lot. So that's basically the aim of this video. Yeah, so if you avoid the mistakes that I made in the past when I first started lifting, which I'm going to go through some of these in the video, then I think it'll help benefit you a lot in terms of your gains, and it'll just help you make more gains in a certain amount of time. And honestly, it's really important to maximize the amount of gains that you can make when you first start lifting, because when you do first start lifting, your response to training and adaptation to training is insane. So the stimulus that you put on your muscles from weight training, your body's going to respond to that very, very well, and you can make a lot of gains, pretty much the most gains that you can ever make within probably the first 3 months of lifting than you ever can in pretty much your whole life, as a natural lifter, that is, of course. And yeah, by the way, I'm wearing the Gymshark Onyx Imperial range. This is the t-shirt. I actually have the last video on my channel. I actually did a Gymshark clothing haul, which I opened this up and tried it on. So if you want to go check that out, make sure you go do that after you watch this video. So yeah, let's get on to the first thing. I've just got a couple things written down on my phone. And these are 5 mistakes that I made when I first started lifting. I'm sure there are many more mistakes that I made. Maybe if this video does well and you guys enjoy it, and you guys want to see more videos like this, then I'll do another one in the future going through other things that you should avoid. Just mistakes, or just things that you should avoid, or things that you should do when you first start lifting, or just lifting in general. But yeah, the first thing that we're going to go through is, the first mistake I guess, is training 1 muscle group per week. Now, I did this for about 3 to 4 years, so, not 3 to 4 years, but like, I did train chest twice sometimes for the last couple of years, but I basically made this mistake for a very, very long time. Yeah, all of these mistakes aren't really in any particular order. It's not like number 1 is the biggest mistake or anything. It's just 5 things, and I thought I'd just put in a little list. So training 1 muscle group per week is not a good thing, because basically when you train, right, when you hit a muscle group, you activate your protein synthesis. During the time while your protein synthesis is spiked, it can only be elevated for up to maybe 24 to 36 hours, and the maximum is 48 hours. Now, during this time while your protein synthesis is spiked, this is actually like when you are anabolic. That is the only time you can actually build muscle. So if you train chest on Monday, your protein synthesis for chest is only going to be spiked for up to 24 to, let's say, 36 hours. After that, you're not really going to be able to grow any muscle. So if you wait a whole week to train that muscle group again, that's a lot of time that you've lost in terms of, and a lot of gains that you've lost as well. So training multiple muscle groups per week is very, very important, and I'd say is 100% necessary. You can still make gains training 1 muscle group per week, but you're gonna make so much more gains training a muscle group twice per week. And if you're just new to lifting, like you just started lifting, even doing 3 workouts a week that are full body workouts, so you're hitting every single muscle group 3 times a week, that's going to give you the most gains when you're a starter for maybe the first, like, let's say 2 months, maybe something like that. And then after that, you can get into the more advanced like training split, which is push-pull legs, where you train Monday, let's say Monday legs, Tuesday push, which is chest, shoulders, and triceps. And then on Wednesday you do pull, which is going to be back, biceps, and traps. And then so you take a rest day and then you go again. So that way you're training every muscle group 2 times a week. By the way, if you are enjoying the video so far, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, because that's actually going to help spread the video to a lot more people out there. And if you find this helpful, then maybe other people will as well. So yeah, drop a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And now let's get on to the second thing. And this is shocking the muscle, or just doing a different workout every single time. Different exercises, you know, starting with a different movement because it's going to shock the body. That's just bullshit. It's not actually true. There is no evidence or any science to actually show that that works. So the best thing that you can do, like what I used to do, right, was, I used to do a different workout every single time. Every single time I'd go into the gym. Not completely different, but I'd do different exercises. Like this week I'll start with like flat bench press on chest. Next week I'll start with incline, and then I'll do flies. And I would change it up, and the amount of weight that I was actually pushing on those exercises was not increasing at all because I was doing a different one every single time. So the best thing that you can do is actually follow a structured program. Now, if you just started lifting, the Jason Blaha 5x5 is probably gonna be the best one for you just because it helps out with your strength. And because your response to training is so fucking amazing, you don't need that much volume, so you don't need a lot of isolation exercises. If you focus on your squat, bench, and deadlift, that's gonna be the most beneficial for you. Increases your strength on that, and you're just gonna fucking blow up most likely, as long as you're eating well with a good diet in terms of eating a high calorie diet with good amount of carbs and high protein as well for muscle recovery and just protein synthesis in general. And yeah, following a structured program. And then after, if you've been training for like 3 to 4 months and your squat, bench, and deadlift is getting up, then you can follow a more advanced program than that. One that's incorporating obviously squat, bench, and deadlift, but also incorporating more isolation exercises like chest flies, you know, leg extensions, rear delt raises, just normal raises for delts and things like that, and bicep curls, all that. So you can get more volume in, so you can keep, you know, increasing your volume and keep making gains. So yeah, following a structured program is actually very, very important. Not changing it up and doing a different workout every single time, that's not going to be beneficial for you. It's going to be more beneficial for you to actually follow a proper program. And that's going to get on to the next point, which is number 3, and that's going to be progressive overload. Now, this completely locks in with following a structured program, because progressive overload is trying to progressively increase the amount of weight you do throughout a certain period of time, you know what I mean? So let's say you start doing let's say we're doing squats, right? You're doing 8 reps for 100 kilos. Let's just say, for example, you want to be increasing that, or you can try to increase that every single week. So maybe next week you'll try 102.5 kilos for 8 reps. And then the week after that, you're gonna do 105 kilos times by 8. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to actually achieve progressive overload every time you go into the gym, because there are many, many factors that come into play, such as the amount of sleep you had, how much water you drank, how much calories you ate on the day, how much calories you ate on the day before, just your central nervous system in general, like maybe your mood. There are many things that come into play in terms of hitting a new PR in the gym and achieving progressive overload, but it is very, very important to actually strive to achieve progressive overload every single time you go into the gym, if possible. So yeah, so the way it locks in with a program is you're following a program, right? So you know, all right, back workout, we're gonna start with deadlifts, 3 sets of 10. And because you're following a program, the next time you do deadlifts, you're gonna do that again. So you're gonna try progressive overload and you're gonna try to beat that. And what that's allowing you to do, basically progressive overload, is over time, it's allowing you to increase your total volume. And total volume is actually the most important driver for muscle growth. There are different drivers for muscle growth. There are a few drivers for hypertrophy, which is muscle growth, and volume is the most important one. Total volume is the most important one. So progressive overload is very important in order to maximize gains. And so when I first started training, like, because I was doing a different exercise every time, like I found that for a year, I was on incline bench press doing 8 reps and I couldn't get over 70 kilos or 80 kilos. For like a year. That's crazy, right? It is, yeah. Sure, there are many things, like I wasn't in a caloric surplus the whole time, so I wasn't really bulking, but also because I wasn't doing it every week, I wasn't consistent with it in terms of following that and trying to progressively overload it, then that's why I couldn't keep making gains with that thing in particular. All right, so the fourth mistake that I made when I first started training is I did not train legs. Don't be that bro that does not train legs. Don't be that guy, okay? I was that guy. Don't be that guy, okay? That is probably maybe the biggest thing to take away from this video. Train fucking legs. If you already train legs, then great. You're sweet, okay? I train legs now as well. You train legs, we're great. If you're not training legs, if you're that guy that just goes and does chest, arms, back, shoulders, what are you doing, man? Come on, what the fuck you doing? You gotta train legs. Legs is very important because obviously no one wants chicken legs with a massive upper body. I mean, you don't wanna walk around on these skinny legs holding this massive upper body. First of all, it looks wrong. It's stupid, it makes no sense, and just train fucking legs. And I reckon it teaches you a lot about yourself as well, because leg days are fucking brutal and they're hard, and that's why people don't train legs. And just because something's hard doesn't mean you should run away from it or not do it. That's not the right way to go about it. You should do things that are difficult because they help you fucking grow. I'm not just talking about in the gym getting bigger legs. I'm talking about it grows your character and grows like you as an individual. It's like an experience, you know what I mean? It teaches you about yourself when you go in and do a brutal leg session and all you're thinking about is quitting and just going home and eating ice cream. But no, you go and stick to it and actually go through that leg workout and fucking smash it. So that's a quick one, but train fucking legs, you gotta fucking do it. I didn't train legs for like the first 3 to 4 years of my training, so I went through a lot of mistakes with my lifting sort of career. Only recently I started doing things really like properly. By the way, if you want to know more information, because I know this is a bit of a quick one about progressive overload and powerlifting and strength training, I actually have another video on my channel that I did. It's maybe 2-3 videos ago if you go and have a look. It's called like the benefits of powerlifting, and I basically go through and explain all this stuff about hypertrophy, volume, powerlifting, strength training, how it's beneficial, and why you should combine powerlifting and bodybuilding to make the most gains possible. But let's get on to the fifth and final thing. The fifth mistake, the last one for this video, it's gonna be I didn't do deadlifts and I didn't do squats when I first started lifting. Obviously I didn't do squats because I wasn't training legs. I only started training legs maybe a year. I started training legs a year ago and 1 month. Last year in May was when I really started probably training legs twice a week, and I actually was training legs. So by the way, if you are gonna train legs, it's not just training legs once a week, it's training legs twice a week. But sorry, the fifth thing, not doing deadlifts, not doing squats. Your squat, bench, and deadlifts, your 3 compound lifts, are the most important things that you can do in the gym. Because they recruit so many muscles and so many muscle fibers in order to perform the lifts, this means you can push more weight, okay, first of all, so you can increase your volume, and they're just the best for hypertrophy because you're pushing so much more weight. And also little things like helping stabilize your core, building your core strength if you're lifting heavier weights, which is important for like everyday activities. But yeah, squat, bench, and deadlift are the most important thing. I was doing bench press when I first started lifting, but I wasn't doing deadlifts because I was like, oh, it's gonna make my waist thick and it's gonna make me not aesthetic, because all I wanted was aesthetics. It's not true, okay, at all. Deadlifts are important, and heavy deadlifts as well. They're gonna give you probably the most hypertrophy for your back to get you a nice thick rounded back, which is what you want, right? And obviously you can do your little wide grip pull-ups. That's gonna be the main thing to target like your lats in order to get that like the wide back, like the V-taper look, right? The wide grip pull-ups are the best for that. But your deadlifts are very, very important as well. And obviously doing squats is very important as well, because that's gonna be the best hypertrophy movement that you can do for your legs. It's hitting like your quads, your hamstrings, and pretty much your glutes at the same time. So, and you can push so much weight on it, so it's very, very important. Alright, so those are going to be the 5 mistakes that I made when I first started lifting. Hopefully this video was helpful and give you some valuable information to take from, because that's obviously the goal. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the video. I just want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and always remember to keep the pump.